Hello everyone, my name is Zhongyi. My topic is a microscopic approach to simulate container terminal with Simpy. Our problem is generate the dataset to support the data level fidelity with Simpy. So we need to build a model which can generate data logged with data level fidelity. And then we can analyze the data log to improve the productivity of container terminal. In this slide, we are showing that there are many queues working for different kinds of equipment in crate side and yard side. To build a container terminal models, we need to follow the 4 steps. The first step is resource allocate. So we need to generate the different kinds of equipment which works in container terminal, and then we configure it in the right position to make our container terminal model work well. Then we need to schedule those equipment and assign job for make them work properly. At last, we will process them to work together to generate the data logs. During the simulation process, control will receive the logs from different equipment and store it in database. So the code can be generated in 2 situations. First is status change, second is heartbeat. Different status have a different rate to send the record to control. Now I will explain how the equipment generate data logs. First, in either status, there are at least one process working for it to record the heartbeat of equipment. And then, one equipment at least have one more process than idle status to help it to finish the jobs. So in those process, when it have the status change, it will generate a record which describe the status change in this equipment at the current time. As we can see in the table, this table describes the working process of one yard trunk. So let's look at the first 3 columns first. Equipment ID, transport equipment ID, and yard trunk ID are the identity of this equipment. As we can see in the figure above, the yard trunk inherited from the transport equipment, so it have the transport equipment ID, and the transport equipment ID inherited from equipment, so it have the equipment ID. And look at the middle rectangle located the columns. They are the location of the yard trunk. So 1 represents 1 feet. In this slide, working state means the working status of current equipment. For in yard trunk, 1 represents the moving, 0 represents stopping, and the container ID represents the container which loaded on yard trunk. So let's look at the last column in this table. This represents the time of each recorded. The first row to third row is the location is changing. So and the status didn't change. It means the yard trunk is moving. The third row to fourth row, and the status is changed, but location didn't change, which means the yard trunk is stopped. And in the moving status, the time gap between each record is 1 second. So and in the stopping stage, the gap between the row near to it is 1 minute. So different status have different rate to record the time. And in the 8th row, the container ID changes into the number which is not 0, which means this container is loaded on the yard trunk. So data logs helps us to analyze the equipment very easily. Thank you.